What happened when someone tried to come between you and your best friend? Mira and I have been glued together since elementary school. We survived bad haircuts, awful crushes, and every major meltdown you can imagine. We have a rhythm that feels effortless. She knows when I'm lying about being fine. I know when she needs space even before she asks for it. Then she started dating a guy named Archer. At first he came across as polite, a little stiff, but harmless. He tried too hard to sound intelligent and carried himself like everyone else was slightly beneath him. Mira brushed it off as nerves, so I tried to give him a chance. Things changed quickly. At a brunch with our usual group, Archer rested his hand on Mira's shoulder and said to the whole table, "I'm helping her build better boundaries. She relies too much on certain people." He stared at me when he said it, long enough that the silence afterward felt sharp. Later, my friend Trevor muttered, "What was that? He looked at you like you ruined his life." I shrugged it off, but something in my stomach twisted. A week later, Mira's older brother invited me for coffee. He fidgeted the entire time before finally saying, "Archer came to see our mom. He said you were going through emotional problems and dragging Mira down." I froze. He kept going. "He told her you might not be stable enough to keep a close friendship right now." I almost laughed. I was fine. Mira was the one who had been canceling plans with me for months. Her brother frowned. "That's not what he told us. He said you've been overwhelming her." Then I heard from one of Mira's co-workers one morning. She pulled me aside, her voice low. "Is everything okay with Mira? Archer came to the office yesterday. He lost it because she was eating lunch with one of the interns. She was shaking afterward." I felt sick. I didn't know any of this. By then the pattern was clear. Archer was telling different lies to everyone in Mira's life. Each lie pointed in one direction. Isolate her, then reshape the rest of us into villains. The final straw came from Mira's cousin. She texted me to ask if we had fought. Archer told her that Mira refused to attend their family cookout because I would be there. I told her the truth and she replied, "Something is really wrong. Stay close to her." That's when I decided to act. I arranged a small birthday dinner for Mira at the restaurant she loved most. Nothing dramatic. I just wanted her surrounded by people who actually cared about her. People who would ground her. When she walked in and saw everyone, she burst into tears and hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. We sat down and her smile slowly returned. Archer, however, stood behind her like a storm cloud. His jaw clenched each time she laughed. Midway through the dinner, I slipped away to the restroom. I was washing my hands when the door shut behind me. Archer had followed me inside. He leaned against the door with a steady, cold stare. "We need to talk," he said. "This is the women's room," I answered. He didn't budge. "I'm only going to say this once. Step out of her life. She doesn't need you anymore." I told him I had been her friend for nearly 2 decades. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "I'm her future. You're in the way." I asked if Mira knew he was cornering me. His face shifted into something ugly. He grabbed my arm, fingers digging in. "You're done," he said. "Find someone else to cling to." Then a voice cut through the room. "Let go of her." Mira stood in the doorway, her hands shaking, her eyes shining with a kind of anger I had never seen on her before. Archer dropped my arm at once. He tried to spin a story about me attacking him with words. Mira held up her hand. "I heard you. I followed you when you left the table." His expression cracked. He tried blaming me. He tried blaming her. He even tried calling her confused. She only shook her head. "You've lied to my mother. You've lied to my brother. You humiliated me at work. And now you're grabbing my best friend." Archer took a step toward her. Mira didn't move. "Get out," she said. He scoffed. "You're ending this over one mistake?" She repeated herself, steady this time. "Get out of my birthday. Get out of my life." He stared at her with a look that expected her to cave. She didn't. After a long, tense moment, he stormed out. The door slammed so hard the mirror rattled. Mira turned to me with tears running down her cheeks. She whispered, "I'm sorry I didn't see him sooner." I wrapped my arms around her. "You see it now. That's enough." We rejoined our friends and stayed until the staff gently asked us to leave. Mira laughed more that night than she had in months. It ended up being the birthday she needed, and the one that brought her back to herself.